So my question to you is, we're surrounded by religion. This is a religious debate. We come from different stances. And obviously we just had a very, very divided election. So how can we, as that gentleman said, bringing religion into campus as a free speech and keep it peaceful, how can we peacefully keep our different religions within politics? And how can we divide the line between, yes, I am practicing my religion and I'm voting according to my religion, but how can I do it in a way where I don't enforce on anyone else?
Well, that's an incredibly difficult question. First point, what is tolerance? Tolerance, according to Christ and the Bible, is not saying, oh, this person's an atheist, they believe the same that I do. That's being brain dead. Rather, tolerance is me looking into the face of an atheist and saying, we disagree, but I still respect you. Why? Because you're not just a bag of chemicals. You're a human being created in the image of God. Now, you might deny God. It doesn't change the fact He gave you life. Tolerance is not an option for a follower of Christ. It's a command. Why? Because I, as a follower of Christ, I worship and follow a man who, as he was nailed to a wooden crossbeam, prayed for his enemies, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. That is the essence of tolerance. So tolerance in a culture filled with people who obey Christ is, I respect you regardless of what you believe, regardless of how severely you disagree with me, I still respect you. Because your value has nothing to do with your lifestyle. It has nothing to do with what you believe. It has to do with the fact that God made you, and God don't make junk. He made human beings created in His image and His likeness. That's tolerance. Secondly, I live in a democracy, which means I am responsible to vote. Now, I might not like the candidates. And by gollies, there just might possibly be that option that this past election, I didn't like either candidate. I am still responsible as a follower of Christ to be involved in government. If it's a democracy, if it's a monarchy, that's different. If it's a dictatorship, that's different. But I will seek to promote justice, compassion, because that is what Christ commands me to do.
You mentioned that God gave us the power to think in free will. And when you get onto controversial issues such as abortion and stuff like that, where it's like we have your religious sentiments who would disregard it, and we may not believe in it, but at the same time, according to our religion or according to our scripture, how can we ever have a right to block others who may want to believe it? Isn't that also going against God and adhering to their free will?
All right. So, welcome to America. Watch out. There's some people who are going to have racist attitudes towards you. There's some people who are going to have religiously bigoted attitude towards you. Tragic. Wrong. So, I, living in a democracy, have to choose what laws am I going to support. And I'm going to support a law that says any racist, religious bias against you is wrong. And that person will be taken to court for it. Welcome to America. The only problem is we got a bunch of sexual perverts here. So, due to the fact that you understand the importance of modesty shown by the way you dress, I am afraid to tell you that you have stepped into a culture that is deeply, deeply committed to pornography, to lust, to using a human being in their mind as a device to get a thrill. I'm sad to say that. That's what you've stepped into here in this culture. Why? Because there's so many people who are sexually messed up in this great country of ours. Now, fortunately, I am getting together with atheists and agnostics and Buddhists and Muslims, and we are seeking to pass laws that say, if in a work environment you are sexually jerked around, those people will be taken to court. Sexual discrimination is wrong. And so I, along with my atheist friends, my agnostic friends, my Hindu, Buddhist, Muslim friends, we will seek to pass laws in this democracy that do not allow people to sexually discriminate against you.
Not in terms of sexual discrimination, but specifically abortion. Do we have the right, according to any religion, to stop others' free choice and what they do with their own bodies?
Ma'am, I just gave you a bunch of examples of how I am going to stop certain men's free choice to sexually discriminate against you by passing laws to stop that sexual discrimination. I will support laws in this democracy to stop people from racially discriminating against you. We all.
Specifically to abortion, would you say as a Christian, as you believe that God gave us free will, do we have the right to block another's choice with how we vote in the ballot?
As I was saying, I am committed to passing laws in this democracy that prevent people from sexually discriminating against you, from religiously discriminating against you, for racially discriminating against you. Now, what about abortion? If abortion is simply removing excess skin, no, I'm not going to support any law against abortion. But if abortion is ending a human life, you bet I will support laws stopping abortion. So the difficult question that all of us have to answer is, when does human life begin, and why do we think it begins then? I hope that we all can agree that murder is wrong. If abortion is murder, it's wrong. If abortion is not murder, it's not wrong. It's simply removing excess skin, and I remove excess skin from my body on a weekly basis. I cut my toenails, my fingernails, I get a haircut. So I regularly dismiss excess skin from my body. And if abortion is simply removing excess skin from a person's body, there is nothing wrong with it. But if it is ending a human life motivated by inconvenience, motivated by selfishness, then it's murder. And I would stand against it.
Thank you. And the last question, I'm sorry, to the person who's next. But the last question is, you mentioned getting together with atheists and Hindus and Muslims and different people of different cultures. Mm-hmm. How can we, coming from different faiths, understand each other better? How would you advise Christians out here to understand the people of different religions better, to have that tolerance? And how would you advise people of other religions to understand Christianity better?
The way you understand Christianity better is by reading the New Testament Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, and finding out who was Jesus Christ. The same way that the way I learn about Islam is not by going 1 hour from my house to where the U.S. World Trade Center used to stand and saying, oh, that's all Muslims, those guys who blew those towers down. No, that's narrow-minded bigotry. Instead, if I'm going to find out about Islam, I better have the open-mindedness to go to the Quran and find out, what did Muhammad teach? How did he treat people? How did he die? What happened after his death? And the same thing is true for Siddhartha Gautama Buddha, the avatars of Hinduism. I better have the open-mindedness to go to the source documents and read them. And ma'am, please, do not think that America is a Christian country. It is not. Please have the open-mindedness to go to the Gospels of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Read them for yourself and ask yourself, does the historical evidence point to Jesus being a fraud? If it does, reject him. Or does the historical evidence point to Christ being reliable? If it does, put your faith in him.